Hey there, and welcome to my channel, Living in Calgary, Alberta. My name is Dean Martin. I'm a real estate agent here in Calgary. And in this video, I'm going to be answering the question I've been getting a lot lately, which you may be wondering is what's going on with the Calgary house prices in 2024? Is this a good time to buy? Are house prices going to drop? Is it worth waiting? Maybe to find out a better price or a better time to enter the market? Well, all of these questions are great questions, and I'm going to be answering them by going through my February 2024 market update for Calgary real estate. And by doing this, we'll see where we're at currently and which direction the market's headed. So I'm going to be sharing my screen and taking a look at the charts and graphs, plus sharing some things like the supply and demand of housing in Calgary, as this is actually what dictates which way the prices are going to go. So if you're new to my channel, my name is Dean Martin, as I mentioned, and my channel is all about living in Calgary, Alberta. So if you're planning to move to Calgary in the near future, please consider subscribing. That way you stay updated on what the current events are going on in Calgary as far as real estate. And of course, anything to do about where to live in Calgary. So without further ado, we're going to get started right after this. All right, so before I jump into discussing where Calgary house prices are currently as we go into February 2024, it's good to understand the law of supply and demand. And what this is that if the demand is greater than the supply, you can expect prices to increase. And if the supply is greater than the demand, then you can expect prices to decrease. So this is in any type of commodity, and it's the same with houses. So currently, as you've heard over and over for the last 2 years, is that Calgary has a very low supply of properties for sale, and also for houses to rent. So, and our demand is very high, and this is different than the rest of the country, and so we're seeing this crazy demand and low supply, and we're seeing house prices go up. So when I share my these next graphs and stuff, you're going to see that, and I'm going to point that out. So I just wanted to get some clarity around this law, because a lot of people want to know, well, when is this next dip, or when will house prices drop in Calgary? And obviously, if you knew when that was going to be, that would be a good time to buy. But so I'm going to show you kind of a scenario where we're at right now. And I'm going to give you a real life scenario at the end as well, to show you what some of my clients have experienced. So anyway, so let's jump into some of these graphs. Okay, so this is a quick snapshot of the prices as the end of January going into February. So our average benchmark price in Calgary was 572,300. Now this is all four types of properties combined together. So we're going to take a closer look at each type. And that way you'll get a better sense of what the house prices are in Calgary. We had 1,650 sales, which was an increase since last year, the same time. We had 2,137 new listings. Our inventory is actually down even lower at 2,150 units. A month of supply is 1.3 months. That's down 36%, which is crazy. So average days on market as well is 34 days, and it's down 20% from last year. But let's take a closer look at each type of property, and we'll start off with detached homes. Okay, so here's the graphs on detached sales, and this is as the end of January 2024. And if we look at, this is a 10-year graph, and so we go back 10 years, you can sort of see where things have gone. So from last year, our number of sales for detached is up from 2023 on detached homes. But you can see here our supply is well below the 10-year average. And this is where our challenge is for people that are wanting to buy right now, is just finding inventory is very difficult. As soon as something that's good comes on the market, it's gone usually the same day. But let's take a look at the detached inventory and sales graph. You can see clearly how the supply and demand is pushing the price up. So if we look at this graph here, the green bar is sales, the blue bar is inventory, and the red is the benchmark average price. And so when you see these bars get similar, just to kind of simplify it, so that means the demand is demand, by the way, is the sales, and inventory is the supply in our law of supply and demand. When you see these tighten up, that's where we see the prices definitely continue to increase. Also over here, this is the months of supply of inventory. And again, we're under 2 months of inventory for detached homes. So the homes are turning over at a very fast rate right now. And as we go into spring, and what we're seeing right now is multiple offers again. There's just not a lot of inventory, and there's a huge demand. Okay, so here's our history again since 2019. Benchmark price, as you can see, is getting pushed up. This is the average price of detached homes. And again, it's just reaching new levels. A lot of the forecasters that are predicting for this year, we are anticipating that detached homes could reach over 800,000 as an average benchmark price. So time will tell. And so what you as a potential home buyer in Calgary, is what you want to look for is again, how much supply there is and how much demand. Like, are people going to continue to move to Calgary, or are they going to start moving out of Calgary? So right now, people aren't moving out. They like it here. They love it here, and they want to stay because there's good jobs, and they don't want to uproot their family to live in a big city where it's going to cost so much more to live, like Toronto and Vancouver. Okay, so this is the apartments graphs, and as you can see here, over the past 10 years, we are at a quite a bit new number of sales, and then the number of new listings is actually increasing, but they're getting bought up as quickly as they're getting listed. And we know that by the months of inventory is very, very low as we go into 2024, and a steady increase in price, as you can see through these graphs. So let's scroll downhill a little bit more. And this is the City of Calgary apartment prices. And now we're well into the 300,000s for apartments. So expectation is throughout 24 we'll see this continue to increase. It's the most affordable housing for purchase, and this is where people are choosing to purchase if they can't afford something that's more money. So we're also seeing more investors purchase. It's a good place for investors to make money because there's such a high demand for rentals. So something to look at if you are an investor. Definitely Calgary is a place that you may want to invest in. This is semi-detached sales. As you can see here, the number of sales compared to last year is up, and we expect, of course, this to continue on as well. I have clients right now looking for semi-detached, and there's just almost nothing for sale. And as soon as something comes on, we're getting into that multiple offer situation. So I'm going to scroll down here. Again, the same story. We're just seeing prices continue to rise. Days on market is definitely, again, well in that high turnover rate. And so we're seeing the homes sold in all the inventory sold and turned over within 2 months. So we expect this to continue as we go into 2024. And this is the row housing sales. Row housing and townhouses, same thing. Look at this. Our sales are up the same number as, or slightly below, but very similar to 2022. we're anticipating a very similar year for 2024, where sales will definitely be very high, and of course that will depend on how many units are for sale. So as they come on, they're getting bought up, and of course the prices are being pushed up as well. So let's scroll down here. And again, you can see a steady increase as we go into this year. Um, our months of inventory is less than 1 month. So this is probably the hottest product on the market right now in Calgary. And so, if you're looking for a home in that, four or $500,000 range, and you want a detached home, well, first of all, as time goes on, price ranges are disappearing, probably never to come back. And so for instance, if you're looking for a detached home, what you could buy 2 years ago, you'd actually have some options, where now you have almost no options. All right, so let's take a closer look at what is driving Calgary's economy. People are moving here for a reason, and they're not only coming from within Canada, but even internationally. So one of the things that people look at Calgary as is an oil and gas city. And even though that's true, and it's a very big part of our economy, there's a lot of emerging sectors that are coming in as well. And so if we take a look at those, some of our key sectors, we'll take a look at these, is we have aerospace, agribusiness, creative industry. The film industry is booming. Of course, the energy and environment, financial services, digital media and entertainment, life sciences, technology. We're becoming a technology hub for Canada, and a lot of my clients are actually coming from the IT sector, and transportation and logistics. So, Calgary is booming in these areas, and attracting people from all across Canada. An interesting graph here is that shows where people are coming from. Is within Canada is this net interprovincial migration, showing this is the third quarter in 2023. But look at how many people are moving to Alberta. I mean, the BC had a negative growth of 4,600 people. Alberta had 17,000. And you can see Ontario here was minus 5,900. So yeah, Calgary is growing. People are moving here, and between jobs and the cost of housing, relative cost of housing, compared to especially Ontario and BC, people are choosing Alberta, and a lot of people are choosing Calgary as their home. So you may be asking, well, how long is this, high demand for housing in Calgary going to continue? Well, let's take a look at maybe the larger picture, which is Canada, and what's happening overall throughout Canada. And our federal government is planning to bring in 1.5 new immigrants between 2024 and 2026. And so the challenge that by doing this is that even throughout all of Canada, there's a shortage of housing. And so if you add all these extra people in, where is this housing going to come? They just can't build houses fast enough. So it's really a challenge that we all have, not just in Calgary, but throughout Canada. And our interprovincial immigration between province to province. And as you can see here, Alberta is definitely the place that people are choosing to move to. So, so this trend is going to continue. It doesn't look like it's going to let up anytime soon. It's going to be a couple of years or even more of this continual pressure of demand. So where does that leave the supply issue for housing in Calgary? Here's an article by CBC News saying, buckle up, renters. Calgary's rental market is expected to tighten further in 2024. And so if you talk to anybody trying to rent in Calgary right now, it's very, very difficult. And so it's just, again, the overall challenge is supply. And so this is actually making rents go up higher, and which is making people reconsider should they buy or not. So You're going to pay a huge amount of money to rent. You might as well be paying down your own mortgage. So, but anyway, so as you can see here, the um, rents are expected to rise even higher and vacancy rates to decrease further. Here's an interesting graph just regarding housing new starts, so new buildings. And as you can see right here, we're reaching new highs as far as starts. There was almost 20,000 in 2023. And for 2024, we don't know the exact number yet, but it's similar. There's a challenge with finding trades to build these homes. And so again, just this huge amount of pressure for demand, and then the creating enough supply is a challenge as well. So what does this all mean? It just means that don't expect house prices to decrease, expect them to increase. But let's now take a look at an example, just so you can maybe put some numbers to all these graphs, something that's a little bit more tangible and understandable. So a real life example would be if you were to purchase a home back in January of 2022. I'm using a community in Southeast Calgary, which is very popular. All these communities in the Southeast are very popular with families, great schools, lots of amenities, nice, safe neighborhoods. But so let's just take a look at what a house would cost you. So back then, a home that would have been probably, let's say, 2,100 square feet, double attached garage, 3+ bedrooms. Again, on a nice quiet street. A house like that would be about 600,000 to maybe 630, 40,000, in around there. And that same house today would cost you about $100,000 more. So that same house, if you rented it back in 2022, it would have been about $2,000 a month. And so that's $24,000 a year. Of course, rent goes up, and it's been going up steadily every month, actually, since 2022. So 2023, let's say you were able to renegotiate at $2,400 a month, so that would have cost you $28,800. And now we're into a new year, 2024, and let's say you're up to $2,800 a month. So that this year, if you continued on, it would be $33,600. So the reason you more than likely would keep going is because if you're waiting for a dip in the market, is probably not going to happen. This is a really good graph to show you the Southeast average detached home prices. So I went back in 25 years, and just to see kind of the direction of homes. These are detached homes, as I mentioned. That there is no significant decrease in value. And so if you had the mindset of waiting for that significant drop, you'd still be renting, and of course never own. And if somebody had bought back here, of course, in 25 years would have paid for their house already. So if you're thinking of purchasing a home in Calgary, and you're going to be living here for a while, it really makes sense to purchase rather than rent. Don't throw your money away to a landlord that's paying down their mortgage. You might as well pay down your own mortgage. So there you can see very clearly that by waiting, in most cases, it could cost you tens of thousands, if not 100,000 or more. So if you're thinking about making a move in 2024, I do recommend purchasing over renting if you can. Give me a call. Let's chat about it. Let's look at your budget, kind of what your family's dynamics are, and maybe I can help you and guide you in the right direction as far as the best place for your family to live in Calgary. All my contact information is below, so let's set up a time for a Zoom call and discuss your situation. So once again, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and of course ring that bell, and give me a like and share if you can. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.